Hello YouTube, my name is Jukario and I am here with another tier list video. It's been a hot minute since I've done one of these and I was just randomly thinking about just how long it's been since Steven Universe ended. Like, the movie's about to turn 5 years old in like 3 weeks, I think, which is nuts. Like, the series as a whole is almost like has ended almost 4 years ago, which is like, that's insane to think about. Anyways, I just wanted to just briefly do a video like this. I just wanted to try and see if I can pump out a video or two before I go back to school, so this will be one of them. And I just wanted to quickly do a tier list on all of the songs in Steven Universe, or at least all of the songs that this tier list provides, which I think they pretty much provide everything except like meme songs. The first one that we have here is I think this is just the original intro, We Are the Crystal Gems. It's not the full version, which we'll get to later, trust me. It's just like the initial intro where it was just like the super like short one. I think it was alright. It made sense. It wasn't anything crazy. It just it was exactly what it sounds like. It just introduced the main, quad of the show for like the first half. Yeah, it just introduced you to the main characters of like the first half before like more and more characters got added. So because of that, I think it's pretty fitting to just be in a B tier. Nothing crazy, but it's not like that. Cookie Cat, I would say Cookie Cat, to me personally, it's either B or C tier. For what it is, which is just supposed to be like a mimic, commercial jingle, but in terms of just as a like song, I think it's just no. We'll leave it in C tier. I think it's just okay. It's just goofy, which I mean, well, almost everything in the show is goofy to some extent, but you'll get my point. Next up, we have Let Me Drive My Van Into Your Hearts. This song was like, I think it's kind of on the same tier as like We Are the Crystal Gems, probably ahead of the original. This is probably like one of the first songs that kind of like stood out in the show. I mean, this was very early on, so you only really had this, so I think it was just okay. Same reason for like Crystal Gems, it was just alright. Now we get into one of my personal favorites, Giant Woman. To me, and I'm not gonna argue this with anyone, Giant Woman is Esther. This song is so charming. I don't know what it was. It was just something about it. It was calm, it was simple, it was really, really well done. And I love that about this. Giant Woman is literally exactly, like, the song is exactly what it sounds like. Steven wants to see the fusion between, what was it, Pearl and Amethyst? Or Opal, yeah. He just wanted to see Opal because Opal looked cool. And it's like, that's sick. So because of that, I personally always thought that, like, yeah, Giant Woman was one of my favorites. Like, I'm surprised. And especially for the fact that this was in like one of like the first, like, I think it was like in like either the very first or like second episode of the show. So like the fact that it stood the test of time compared to a lot of other songs, that's pretty huge, I'm not gonna lie to you. And then next up we have Strong in the Real Way. In my opinion, Strong in the Real Way it was pretty good. I felt like it kind of like, I would put it like in A tier. I think the only gripe that I had with it personally was that it kind of went on for a little too long, in my opinion. It was low-key long for a song of its nature, and it's like, in my opinion, it was pretty good, but compared to a lot of the other songs, like Giant Woman, for example, is like less than a minute. Strong in the Real Way is like, it's like almost 2 minutes long. So for that, I would say if it was just a little bit shorter, right, and the ending kind of wrapped up a little neater, I'd give it an S tier, but it's still really good, so I'd put it in A tier. Next up we have Steven and the Stevens. To me, when I listened to this as a kid, I feel like, actually no, Steven and the Stevens and Steven and the Crystal Gems, it's basically the same thing, just slightly different lyrics. And I feel like these both kind of fit into like this category. Big Fat Meanie Zucchini, bro, start in D tier. I will give it an honorable mention. It was funny as hell when I first saw it, but this is not competing with anything else on this list, like, let's be honest. Then next up we have Dear Old Dad. Yeah, you're gonna have to go down there, bud. Yeah, I had a Big Fat Meanie Zucchini, but that didn't click to me at all. Next up, Be Wherever You Are. This song right here, same with Giant Woman. The fact that it has stood the test of time as just one of the best songs in the series, in my opinion, this song is sick. I would argue it's better than Giant Woman. We can adjust it later. We can adjust this later. I can do like final adjustments after all of this. Be Wherever You Are is Esther. It's beautiful. It's nice. It's calming. I like it ties in with the setting really well. I remember this episode like it was like it came out yesterday. It's really good. Next up is On the Run, and I'm gonna be honest, even when I was younger, I just didn't really like On the Run that much. As of right now, I would put On the Run probably like, actually no, you know what? Before I put it in C tier, let me listen to it real quick just to make sure I'm not tripping. Okay, I wasn't tripping. Yeah, this can go in C tier. I'm not gonna hold you. It's not trash. It's cute. It's cute for what it is, right? But I can't give it anything higher than C tier, bro. Now next up is Comet. I'm not gonna lie, Comet is really good. I don't know, something about it is like, it's definitely not an S tier. It is an A tier, and like I said, maybe when I'm done with all of these, or when I feel like I'm done with most of these, we'll adjust. Comet is A tier. There's not really that much to say about it. It's solid. It's a good performance from Greg. You know what I mean? So next up is Destiny. I don't actually remember Destiny that much. Let me listen to it real quick. Okay. So I wasn't tripping then. Destiny is I throw it in C tier again. I'm not gonna. It didn't really click. I remember Lapis Lazuli. I remember this song. I don't know why it's like. I think Wailing Stone was like a slightly worse version of it. It's like, I know these two pretty much were like the same, but Lapis Lazuli, I remember exactly. The vocal performance on that was really well done. The only thing I never really liked about it was like, it was really, really short. That's like the only thing I feel like that holds Lapis Lazuli back. It's not like I'm not gonna lie, it's not a crazy song, but it was definitely held back by the fact that it was really short. So I'd put it like top of B tier. If it was like a bit longer, I would have probably given it maybe like high A tier, but it's a little too short for my liking, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with how good the guitar and Steven's vocals were in that song. It should not have been that short. As far as I remember, I think I'm pretty sure Wailing Stone is just the same thing but slightly worse. Okay, I take back what I said. I listened to it for a little bit. Wailing Stone is, I wouldn't say, okay, it's not worse than Lapis Lazuli. It's definitely on like the same tier as it. I would argue Wailing Stone is, I think Wailing Stone's still, like, it's not as good as Lapis Lazuli, but it's on the same tier as it. As you can see, Stronger Than You is right there. There will be no arguments. And this is me doing Stronger Than You right now. This has to be like the best song in the series, period. When this song dropped, it changed like I don't know what it was. There was like a shift in like the internet when this whole episode dropped. And it's like, when you heard Estelle's performance in this song, it was beautiful. Like, I really and truly, when I first heard this song as a kid, this has to be one of like the hypest scenes in cartoon history at the time. It was ridiculous. And next up, we have the full version of We Are the Crystal Gems. That song also is an S tier. We Are the Crystal Gems Extended, I love that they gave all of the main characters, compared to the original, where it was basically just them introducing their names. The extended version actually gives you a little bit of lore and personality, right? With each of the main characters, right? I remember it specifically. Garnet fights, for the sake of love, right? Because Garnet's a fusion between Ruby and Sapphire. Pearl fights in the name of Rose Quartz and everything that she lived for, right? Amethyst fights for the sake of the earth where she comes from. It's her home. And Steven fights for the chance to make a name for himself and see what he'll become when he's grown. Even that whole section, I remember that specifically as a kid. Those lyrics hit different. When I listened to the full version on YouTube for the first time, it was sick. And even like the extended like intro bit that they use for it, it's just so much cleaner than the original. So enough said, S tier. Next up is Full Disclosure. I think Full Disclosure is the one with, let me actually go on my Spotify this real quick. Full Disclosure, I swear that's the one with him in the phone, right? Yeah, Full Disclosure, yeah, it's the one with him in like the phone chiming. I remember that. I'd say it was an A tier. I like how they portrayed, I love how they, like, starting from, like, I feel like at this point onwards, I like that they used this song as like a vehicle to show that Steven was just jaded. Because I know, like, at the time, it confused me as well a little bit, like, why he was being so distant and, like, he just started acting weird, basically. But it's like, you have to understand, especially for people who actively watched the show like I did, you have to understand why he feels that way. And it only took me, like, after this song, or after the episode ended, to realize nobody knows, like, he doesn't know how he's supposed to feel in that situation. The fact that he felt so, like, jaded during this episode especially was like, that was good. It's a really good song. I think it's solid. I don't think it's an S tier. Actually, no, I'm not gonna lie. After the conversation I just had, yeah, we're gonna put you up there, buddy. Next up is the Jam song. And wait, let me listen to it real quick. I don't remember. Oh, okay, now I remember. It was cute. I thought, like, I'll give it an A tier. It was cute for what it was, especially, you know, I keep saying for what it was, as if everyone that's, well, I'm not gonna lie. If you're watching this video, you more than likely watched Steven Universe way too much, like myself. You know, the fact that it was Steven and Connie, like their little, like, jam. Do It For Her is probably one of my favorite songs. Well, definitely stay in S tier. Do It For Her, and like I said, I'll order these later, was so, like, motivating to listen to, especially just knowing how intense Pearl was about the situation and how serious they were taking it. It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like, the importance of this song was like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm just yapping at this point. It's a really good song. Next. Okay, What Can I Do For You? What Can I Do For You was, this one was I give it, like, I'll throw it in B tier. Probably, like, for now, I'll throw it, like, up here. I think what killed it for me was, like, I understand that, like, the actual scene itself, you watch Greg kind of get, like, more and more, like, distracted, which messes with his, like, guitar solo. But, like, if he actually locked in and played that guitar solo, this song would probably be, like, high A tier, maybe S tier. But for now, it's just alright. Tower of Mistakes. I remember Tower of Mistakes. It was really short, but it was really good with just Amethyst's, like, tone in that song. It's like I always say, I feel like songs like this if it was just a little bit longer for my interest, because especially a song like this, it kind of, like, it picked up a little more as time went on. It was definitely a lot more, like, it didn't really build up until, like, the last, like, verse, right, that you just heard me, like, hum to myself for a quick second. I'll throw it in A tier. Probably throw it up here. I feel like it, because, like, when the guitar really picked in for that last verse, it really hit home what, you know, the message of this song was. And to me, it was good. Next up, Haven't You Noticed? I feel like I should remember it. I don't remember this one that much. Let me listen to it real quick. Okay, now I remember it. Okay, I was confused about the Spotify one, but then I forgot. I swear, like, I think, don't quote me on this, I swear this was, like, Sadie's song, but she didn't have the confidence to sing it, so Steven sung it for her. I could be wrong about that, but that's what I remember. I think it was, like, it just sounds kind of like, you know, your typical, like, pop song. So I would say it's, like, it was pretty solid. Maybe, like, bottom of A tier. I thought it was pretty good. Something Entirely New. I don't really have much to say about it. It wasn't bad, but it's not that, like, I don't even know how to feel about Something Entirely New. Something about it, I really and truly don't remember it that much. It's probably like, I told you I'll adjust this later, but for now it can sit here. Although I do remember the little reference to Stronger Than You at, like, the very end with them humping. That was cute, which, you know, kind of makes sense. The whole point is them meeting each other for the first time. Next up is Peace and Love on the Planet Earth. I have a secret to tell y'all. Oh, it's not a secret, but I have something to say. For the longest time, Peace and Love on the Planet Earth was literally my alarm, like my morning alarm, to get up and go to school. All throughout, I think, like, middle school and high school, this was my alarm. And it's crazy to think about, because that should be more than enough to tell you this is going in S tier. And there's no argument. This was literally my alarm. What's her name? This is when Paradox started to become more notable among the team, so, you know. Okay, next up is, okay, first off, I'm not gonna lie to you, we're just gonna knock out the whole Empire City musical. That's probably what this will be titled, like, Don't Cost Nothing. We'll throw this in A tier. It's cute, it's fun, you know, a simple, you know, father-son bonding moment. It's a huge step up from Dear Old Dad. Empire City, I'd probably throw it, like, over here. I didn't like it too much compared to the rest of these. So yeah, Mr. Greg, same rating. Like, these are, like, you're more like, because I remember this episode specifically was, like, a proper musical, so It's Over, Isn't It? Ah yes, an all-time classic. It's over, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't it over? I love love this. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad. I forgot the actress's name, but the person that played Pearl, yo, she put in work. I'm telling you right now, this one is guaranteed like a top 10 song in the entire series. And I know I've been saying everything in S tier is very good. Now, this is an underrated gem of mine. I really, really like both of you. This song was so good. I don't know what it was. And I'm not going to speak too much on it because I think I know why I did this. No older than maybe like 12 or 13 when this episode came out, maybe. It's something about this, like, it's something about like the lyrics especially and just the tone of the song. It just felt so like, it felt like I was Steven in that moment, and I gravitated towards that a lot. So, and the Don't Cost Nothing reprise, I think it's literally just the same thing as the original. So, well, yeah, Don't Cost Nothing, it's basically the same thing but Pearl's in it as well, so it's a little better. Yeah, just throw it in there. Okay, I think I need a little change. I don't remember. Okay, this one I don't remember too much. Let me listen to this one for a quick minute. Okay, I like most of like the little verses. I like how upbeat and like energetic it is. It kind of dragged on a little too much. Like the main chorus of it, it was alright. It kind of picked up in other areas, but this is another, like, it's just alright to me. Next up, Love Like You. Yo, Rebecca Sugar did her thing. Let's just get that up. Rebecca Sugar really, really put her all into this. I'm giving it S tier. The lyrics are beautiful. The simple, calm instrumentals, bro. I don't know what else to say. It's really good. Next up is Here Comes a Thought, and I really, really like this one. It's really good. I love that, like, it's initially just like, what's it called? It's just Garnet in the beginning, and then Stevani kind of like comes in and then adds, you know, pretty much ad-libs to what Garnet's saying. It's really good. There's so much to say about most of these, but trust me, I can see a couple more mids coming up, but that's not important. Okay, Still Not Giving Up. Yeah, you're gonna go down. I didn't like it. I could never be ready. This one was like, it was cute. It's extremely short, you know what I mean? I would put it in like, I put it like, honestly, top C tier. For what it is, it's cute and charming, but like, it was really, really short, and most of it is just instrumental. So, What's the Use of Feeling Blue? That one can probably go like, this one was good. I remember this one. It was solid. It's nothing like, there's nothing crazy that I have to say about it. It was just really solid. Just really good vocal performances. I like the harmonization from like the pearls. That was a nice touch. And then next up we have these three. I'm pretty sure these three were all in the same. So all of Sadie's music. I distinctly remember all of them, but we're gonna talk all of these in detail for now. These were not. I didn't really care too much for any of these. I'm not gonna lie to you. And next up we have That Distant Shore. That Distant Shore, again, it's like, there was nothing really like that crazy about it. It was just okay. The person that voice acted Lapis for these songs, Lapis really didn't get that many songs in the series, but when she got like her moment to shine, her songs were beautiful. Like, I know that there's the one from Future, which I'll get to in like a little bit. They were really good. Then next up we have Ruby Rider. Ruby Rider was cute. I don't think it was that great. Yeah, Ruby Rider was just, it was cute. So I'd give it like, I'd say like top of B tier. For just one day, for how long it is, bro, it's still really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'd throw it, honestly, I'd say it's like another S tier. It's been a little bit since we've put something in here, but it's really good. You know, it pretty much hit on like everything in the it literally hit on like basically everything leading up to the wedding. And I do like that they make Steven kind of like think about everything, but yet he's just, he uses the wedding more as like a coat to be like, you know, for one day I don't want to think about family drama or anything like that. I just want to think about the love between these two beautiful gems that created Garnet. Familiar's alright. I don't remember it that much. I will say it's really well done. It's nothing like crazy standout like S tier, but it's solid. I like it. Yeah, escapism. Yeah, I don't know. Escapism doesn't really get talked about that much, but I'm not gonna lie. Escapism was really good. This one, it's alright. I throw it like here. Now, Change Your Mind, just the song Change Your Mind, it's really nice. I love how it's very, like, to me, the way that they did Change Your Mind here was a really good way to end the original series. I like it. I would put it honestly like near somewhere up here in A tier right now. But yeah, Love Like You, the reprise, a good. I love how the opening is this strong instrumental, and it just slaps you in the face with like, the original sound and feel. Right? They're both equal, but Love Like You, the original, fit better as like a typical like outro for like a show, right? Whereas the reprise was a really good way to just wrap up the whole, the base series, right? And now we move on to the movie, which is, I think the movie is pretty much, yeah, all of this that you see here is the movie. So I'm gonna just speed run this. The Tale of Stephen, I think it was just alright. It was a good way to introduce you. I like that, the lyrics were a great way to introduce you to the movie, basically. Let Us Adore You is one of my favorite songs in the entire series. As much as a lot of people have their gripes with the movie, and I will say, especially after like, years down the road, the movie, a lot of songs in the movie kind of like lost its spark with me. Let Us Adore You was a really, and the reprise, they were both really good, and both of them. So I'll say, let me see, Happily Ever After was pretty good. I love how each of the main quad, pretty much, of protagonists had their own verses completely dedicated to what they started out as and what they ended up becoming in the movie, right? Steven's like, I thought I was gonna live in my mom's shadow, and I started to work more. Basically, if you remember how I talked about the reprise of, or not the reprise, the extended version of the opening, Happily Ever After basically takes that and just feeds it 18 lines of cocaine. I don't know what that means. I'm throwing this in S tier. Other friends, I'm not gonna lie, me personally, I thought it was just really solid. I wouldn't put it in S tier, in my opinion. I do think that there are definitely some other songs that I agree with more, and I said I'll reorganize these. So for now, I think Other Friends was just an A tier. It's really good. I wouldn't put it in S. And next up, this is when Pearl got rebooted. I remember this, when she basically just woke up and said that everyone is some form of deformity. So it's like, it makes sense. It's very fitting, right? Pearls are very like strict, one-dimensional, only believe in statistics, no emotion, kind of, until Rose Quartz changed that. So for that, as well as just the song in and of itself, I throw like bottom A tier. Who We Are, I remember this one. I don't know, Who We Are never really stuck out with me. I didn't really like it that much when I first even when I first watched the movie. I didn't really like it that much, so I'll throw it in D tier. Now, Isn't It Love? I don't know, the more I talk about this show, the more like I get all these waves of nostalgia, because I remember explicitly listening to this song and watching this scene for the first time, and this song was really good. You can go up here for how short it was, especially for Garnet, especially. It was pretty good. Amethyst song, yeah, this one was nice. It wasn't anything crazy. I would say out of like all of the three of them coming back, I think Amethyst was a little better than Pearls. Pearls made sense, but Pearls was more like stiff. But it makes sense for her character. No matter what, you could slowly hear Amethyst starting to become more like her old self, which is cool. Disobedient, it's like Sadie stepped her shit up, I ain't gonna lie. So we'll give Sadie, from Disobedient, I'll give it like top of B tier. I think it's pretty good. It's kind of like one of those like rock band kind of like songs you would hear in like on like the radio, and like, or like something you hear like, yeah, Macy's type of music. It's basically that, but it's done pretty well. Yeah, Independent Together is like, I feel like it's on like the same echelon of Disobedient. It's just better. The fact that, also, I forgot that this is like one of the more, I think this is like the second time that Opal has appeared, and it's like her only like singing role, and I'm really glad they brought back Opal to be able to do this, because it worked out really well. Drift Away was really good. I throw it an S. There's not really too much to say about it. Drift Away was really good, especially for the fact that you could slowly see Spinell go from like reformed to just returning to be like, I think, yeah, her returning to her more like angry self, bitter, basically. Found is okay. Found is just kind of like, okay. I'd throw it in like top of C tier, I'd say. It wasn't really anything crazy. True Kind of Love, automatic S tier. There's no, and this is the only example I will tell you right now. There's no debate, there's no conversation. Go on Spotify or YouTube, wherever the hell, listen to the full song yourself. Bro, there's like a minute and a half of just calm, of just chill instrumentals. And then it comes back, and Zach, now playing, Zach comes back and really shows that, hey, he's really grown up since the series started. Like how he sounds at the end of Change Your Mind versus now is insane. Estelle, my goat, put in that work, S tier. I liked Change for what it was. I just thought Change was really short. I put Change in like B. Change was good. If it was just a little bit longer, I would think it's a really good contender for like high A tier. Yeah, finale makes sense. You know what I mean? It's basically the same thing as the opening, just it's more like a send off. I like it. It's a really good way to wrap up the musical, but again, it's just all right. Yeah. And now we get into the series, which didn't have a lot of or the epilogue series, which didn't have a lot of songs, but it was still charming nonetheless. Something about the tidying song, it just gives me like Cookie Cat era vibes, and for that it can sit right there in C tier with it. Shining Through was beautiful. It's one of those songs where it wasn't anything super crazy, but I'm telling you right now, Lapis put in work. And when it was her turn, I'd say I'll put it like top of A tier. This song was alright. Fun fact, my sister actually learned how to play this on piano, which is kind of cool. And also not important to this video. So I know my sister, I think, watches my videos. So, if she's watching this, I remember when you played that. You still suck. Anyways, I'd throw this like somewhere just in the middle of A tier right now. I thought it was good. It reminded me of like kind of like the Jam song, except like Connie wasn't really a part of it. It just gave me that same vibe. So I don't know. Looking forward now is like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. If you took away the lyrics, the instrumental kind of gives me like, yeah, something about it gave me like Legend of Zelda, Fire Emblem, Village, folk tale kind of music. I like the instrumental a lot. The lyrics are kind of simple, but I mean, it makes sense. It just kind of showed how much everyone's changed since the original series. I'd put it like, throw it like around like above Ruby right here. Sorry for the yawn. And then my little reason why. I remember this one was actually pretty decent. This was, I think, yeah, this is Blue Diamond's performance, and it was short, sweet, and simple. So for that, yeah, we'll throw it up here. I guess the last song for now is just Being Human, which was like, this was basically the way to just end off the entire series. Nothing crazy really happened from it. It was nice. So yeah, for me, I'd throw Being Human. We'll probably just cram it in S tier. I liked it a lot. It's very calm, it's relaxing, it's a really, really good way to end off the series. Alright, and I think this will be my finished tier list for now. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So, I'm gonna try and slowly scroll through here. Y'all can pause wherever you need to, but this is pretty much my final list. I don't really have much else to say, so if you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more like this, leave a like, comment, subscribe, the notification bell so you're always on track with whenever I upload a new video. Go drink some water, tell some friends and family, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.